Congratulations to the team. Congratulations. So proud of the players today. Really very, very, very proud of the players today. Not an easy one, but if you look at holistically, even the numbers, 4 big chances for us, 0 for them, and very, very good team. 0 big chances. We gave them nothing. In the attempts to block our build-up, they tried 13 times, nothing came off. Okay, in the second half we didn't build up so good, especially once we went 1 man down. But okay, the pressure was there, and the players decided to be a bit more conservative. But very proud of the players, proud of their effort, and proud of the result. And congratulations to the players and to the team, and congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club. Happy for the Yellow Nation. Yeah. Sure, no.
Last season, I can't remember if it was last season or the season before, you spoke about training the whole squad.
Yep.
Instead of like the starting 11.
Yep.
With the quality that you have, and you make 8 changes against TS Galaxy, and then the fluidity is still the same, and the players are still the same.
Yeah.
At the same level, you are still winning. What does it take to keep the squad competitive, having such a big squad?
Yeah, you got to make them feel like they are part of the process, and of course, well, that's why we train for that. That's why we play even friendly matches for that. Even when we have, for an example, once we went to Polokwane, we went into a situation where we had to get to a level where everyone was getting 90 minutes, but we would play 2 times 90 minutes, for an example, and we would not leave one group behind the other group. And so, but also compliments to them, because they are good human beings, and good human beings before they are good football players, and they compete without a toxic feeling amongst each other. It's healthy competition. And it helps. It helps that the good football players are good people, and that makes them feel part of the process, and that assists greatly.
Coach, did you find it rather odd how the decision for the red card and the consultation around it came about? Because one of the things we're gonna VAR is got to what's like that, and I think following to that, when you've got, games always give you different situations where you have to react, and I think instinctively one would have thought you would just try to defend and take a 1-goal lead, but you still go on and score. How do you look at that situation where the team still plays, even though they've got this different situation of we've got a man down, not used to it, but still play in the manner that they do?
Yeah, good question. I don't want to speak too much about the situation with the referees. I don't speak a lot. In fact, I don't speak about referees. I'm not paid for that, so I don't speak about that. About the situation with regards to how we responded, that's how we are built. It's the DNA of the club. It's the DNA of the group. It's the DNA of the team. The team is not built to absorb pressure and to defend deep in the block and hit on counter-attack. It's not a squad that is profiled like that, with recruitment and with training. And so I'm not surprised that we still went and tried to play the way we train. And even though it was very, very difficult, and we had some moments where we had to suffer, which is good for us in terms of the big games that are still coming up with the Super League and Champions League. But we always show that we are prepared to run. I say to the players, when we have the ball, we play like a big team. We are brave, and they know I don't like it when they hide, even when it's very, very difficult. But at the same time, when we don't have the ball, we suffer, and we run like a smaller club that's got a lot of humility with the players, and we have one thing you will always find is that personality. We will play with intensity. We will run when we don't have the ball, and we'll try our level best all the time to have the ball and dominate. And there were moments that were very good for us today. A few moments where I didn't like the personnel, but most of the moments I liked today a lot.
Coach, Kamo from Soccer.
Sure, Kamo.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Kamo.
Sekhukhune Mokwena and Rhulani Williams have been arguably your best players this whole season. And they've started almost every game in the league up until the TS game. Is the idea with the both of them to keep them, wrap them around cotton wool, like you said, in anticipation of continental football that's coming up?
I wish I could say wrap them with cotton wool, but the long and short of it is that yes, it's just rotation and giving others a fair chance also, which is and I think they've done very, very well. AJ has been superb in the last 2 games. Zungu has had some very good minutes for him and to build him, and he's had very good possibilities. And then of course Dennis Onyango is Dennis Onyango. He's been in that space, and then that also gives you an opportunity to have Kennedy on the bench, to have Riyad on the bench, to still also be part of the group. And that helps a lot with the group dynamics, and especially because of the leadership status. But as I always say to you guys, I don't like to speak about individuals because football, being the sport that it is a team sport, and it's huge compliments to everybody, because there's a lot of hard work that goes in behind the scenes, from the coaches to the management to everybody. So a collective effort and an effort that needs to be applauded as a collective.
Yeah, Coach, I just want to look at, you talk about your hectic program
Yeah.
Going forward, and I was looking at Al Hilal. I think they're in Tanzania, playing a series of matches there. I saw your advanced team in Cameroon already. Is the mode already changing? Already looking forward to the intensity of those matches, and also, has AJ played his last game for you as Sundowns, or things could still change with the window closing on Tuesday?
I've spoken a lot about AJ, so I don't wanna go into that space. I've already spoken, and my feelings are very consistent. And also I've got to speak not just in my capacity, but I've got to speak on behalf of the club. So I don't want to go into that space, because if I speak, then it's easy to be taken out of context. And I've already said that the issue lies with management. And once there is further updates with regards to the situation, the management will update. But you know my feelings personally about his importance and his role within the group. I focus on Champions League for sure. Champions League is a different space, much more intensive, and of course then we have to try to anticipate and try to look at the fixtures. But how we work is one game at a time. And now the biggest focus is on recovering the players. Lots of water, lots of rest. We've got 7 days before the next match, so I'll spend a bit of time, fortunately, to watch the next opposition, but first is to recover, and then it's first is Pirates first, and before we even start to think about many other things, we one step at a time, one game at a time, and try to win every single match.
Coach,
Sure, Lawrence.
11 goal contributions for Cassius this season.
Is that so?
Black label cup. Is it something that surprised you, or was it something that you knew was in his locker that you can keep the ground?
Kashi has got a lot of potential still. I say to you guys, if there is one person that the younger ones, I'm very protective of the younger ones, because I've seen it in South Africa before, and many a times where we it's called the curse of the rising star. It's the curse. It's you see the shooting star is shooting, and then you make a wish, and just before you finish making a wish, it disappears. So I'm very, very cautious about the young ones, and I plead always for patience. protect them, put them a little bit in the space where you don't give them too much attention and too much limelight, spotlight, and allow them to come through and grow, and if they have that environment, they very similar to how Percy had not a lot of glitz and glam. Madisha the late, not a lot of glitz and glam. Mkhulisi the late, not a lot of glitz and sorry, God forbid. Mkhulisi, not a lot of glitz and glam. Came through the ranks, and then when he needed the shine, he got the shine. But still be very careful with Cassius, because there's a lot to improve. You saw it even now when he plays, and he played against Jima and Cardoso. And he has to play now, because we are one man short. He has to play more for the space in front. Because the block is a little bit deeper, and then he's got to link up and hold up the play and wait for the players to move a little bit closer. He struggles still with that, so there's so much to improve for Cassius, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Can we have the last three questions?
Yeah.
Good evening, Coach.
Sure, Karab.
Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you. Congratulations to the team.
There was a lot of noise midweek in regards to fair play, this and that. I also had an opportunity, in regards to that, to speak to a former coach that you worked with, three-time Champions League winner. And he spoke glowingly about you. You don't speak the hard work that you put in, the play development and so forth. How does it make you feel that, albeit people say financial fair play, but the man that's achieved so much still speaks so highly of you?
I can only speak in glowing terms. I know South Africa would love for it to be a spicy relationship with, but people don't know. I consider Coach Pitso not just a mentor, but a father figure for sure. And because he played with my father, he did. They shared the pitch. He's a very close family friend. He's a Sundowns man. He's done so much for this football club, and regarded as for sure and rightfully so as an icon, and will go into the books of this club as that. And the contribution he's made I was listening to Arteta speak about Pep, and I could speak and go on and run out of superlatives, because he's taught me a lot, and for that I will always be extremely grateful for the support and the education that he's embedded into my career. And I'm only humbled that he can say what he says, but he knows also the influence that is imparted into my career, and for that I will always be grateful.
A lot of emotions, Coach. Is it that deep?
Yeah, well, it has to be, because I don't think I would be where I am today without the role that he's played, for sure. So he knows that, though. People have to be given their flowers while they still can receive them, and he knows that. I don't shy away from telling him. And as I say, a lot of people would love it to be spicy, but it's far from that. Very, very far from that.
Can it be one question each? I see more hands coming up.
Congratulations, Coach, for winning Saturday. Great shape.
Thanks, Lonnie.
Sifiso, on the left.
Yeah.
Gonna give you a headache when Modiba comes back there, or you wanna keep him just there?
Good headache. Very good. It's a few moments were also at Sfiso. What I like is I speak before, and when I say to you, a few moments where Sfiso thinks there's and you see when we went to a back three, he's very comfortable, because he has a lateral center half to cover the space behind. So when I spoke about Sifiso's evolution in terms of playing in a back four, a lot of people but you see it sometimes even on the pitch. He controls the space in front, especially in possession. The space in front much better than he controls the space behind, and but that's because of the playing 4 or 5 seasons in a back three with a wing back sort of role. But a lot of work. Lot of work still to be done, but the past 2 games he's been very, very good, Sifiso, very, very good, and but so has the team. You know, I've liked the performance of the team the last 2 games, I must tell you, and the personality has been good, the usage of the ball has been good, and the press has been good, the build-up schemes have been good, and the willingness to want to play, the energy, you know. So when you speak of Sifiso, you can speak of almost all these players that have played the last 2 games, because they've put their hand up and they've provided us with very, very good, healthy competition.
Coach, midweek I saw on the bench you had a boy, Karanse.
Yep.
Interestingly, I had watched him a weekend before in the GTC lightning pace. I've been seeing all these youngsters you've been bringing. Is the model been tweaked a bit? Because it's not been like that in the past. So are you tweaking the model? And also, still within that. Because normally also you send your players out, especially those coming from down there. But with Mamelodi, it's been different. It's straight to the team.
Yeah, Jerome has got a bright, again, same with Cassius. And maybe it's also because of my background as a youth coach, you know, having spent a lot of time at Platinum Stars with the likes of Dina Ndlovu, for an example, with the youth. Being at Mamelodi Sundowns with the youth, and even when I was at my former club, and we had players like Thabiso Monyane, for an example, coming through. For me, I like this feeling, and I think the Mamelodi Sundowns fans like this feeling, where there's a player that they can connect to and connect with, because he comes from the academy, he has that feeling of the club and what it takes to achieve, and that's why they love the Yellow Nation loves Kulisi, they love Pesitao. They'll always have that relationship with him, and these players have this connection, you know, with the supporters, because they come from the youth within the structures. But when you speak about these players, you cannot then also turn a blind eye to the hard work that's being done in the academy and in the development structures by David Notwane, Surprise Muriri, Godfrey Sapula, Sean Bishop, and the likes. Sam Mbata also with a lot of experience with working with youth and producing very good players, and so, but also very calm, because we are trying to teach Jerome a lot of things. So it needs a bit of time and patience, but it's gonna come. We have to do more in terms of giving opportunities to these kids. It's important, very, very important. Not just as I say for the supporters, but also for the return in investment for the club. The club puts a lot of resources into that space, and so when a lot of people are going out to look for players, the first for us is to start there. And maybe, as I said, it's because I'm victim of my past, you know. I'm as a youth coach, and for sure I try to start within the club structures first.
Coach, when you look at not just your performances, but how you are being pushed or not in certain matches in the PSL, you talk about the games that you play in the Champions League, but for the Pirates, yes, but now you must start thinking with your own metrics, where are you in as far as competing in the Champions League for different demands of that season. Where would you say the PSL has put you this season for that kind of challenge?
We'll only know once we go to it, once we start going. But the PSL is extremely competitive. You know, sometimes you win games and people think it's a God-given right to win games. It's very difficult to win games in the PSL. It's very, very difficult. And you only have to look at why others are not doing what we are doing. It's because it's very difficult, because otherwise everybody would do it. You know, it's not easy, and that's why I sit here and I say compliments to the players. The game belongs to the players, and I applaud them all the time. but it's not because I've got nothing else to say. It is because it's genuinely well deserved praise. You know, if you look at a lot of teams, Real Madrid to go to a different level needed a Barca. Bayern needed a Dortmund at times to push them. And you go, Man City needed a Liverpool. You know, without a rival going extremely intense with you, it becomes very, very difficult psychologically to continue on an upward trajectory. But this group of players, we come every day. We work very, very hard for every single action, from videos to corrections, to opposition analysis, to training, where every ball counts and every training session matters and every action on the pitch matters. And to have that is that demand is not easier. Is not easy, and we should not because it happens. It should not be embedded in under no circumstances for people to perceive it as a God-given right or very, very easy. It's incredible what this group of players continues to do every single day. It's incredible, and they deserve even more praise than they get. You know, because they are doing it. We think easy, but it's very difficult.
On your metrics, what are you seeing?
On the metrics, no. Well, we are in line with. What you don't know, Skepe, is that we compare ourselves with the best in the world, and we are in line there. 2 weeks ago, I got a report from I won't mention the name, but a European-based analyst that I had asked a friend of mine to do analysis of the team. And he looked at the team. He cut it down into different parts and the set pieces and everything. And the report, you will see the numbers. They compare with the best in the world. And that's what we try to do. Because that's the space we try to compete with Champions League, with Club World Cup, with the Super League. That's the space we have to be in. And hence, as I say, very proud of the players and incredible effort from the boys.
Last question. Thanks, Shooks.
Shokens.
With today being the president's birthday, this year being the 20th year since he obtained
20 years.
20
Time
years,
flies.
Yeah, because he bought 51% stake in 2003. Coach, well, what do you have to say? I know you've said so much about the President Motsepe, but when you look at this team, the type of investment that the Motsepe family has made into this team, not only in terms of like signing players from outside, but you just spoke of the development. I mean, you won the Motsepe Cup to winning a Champions League as assistant coach, being the youngest coach in the country to win a league as a head coach as well. Signing a player like Mshishi at age 20 from Vardos, about to turn 21, and you can argue to say he's the face of the league right now, to developing players like Cassius, players like Percy. With all that's been said, when you look at the type of investment he's made and his, we can say 20-year stint in South African football, what more do you say about this man and the impact he's had on football in the nation?
Sure. Where do you even start? I think first is we are very fortunate, and we don't know how fortunate we are to have an individual like Dr. Patrice Motsepe. We are living every single day amongst a generational human being. You know, the people like him don't come every decade. You find one, and then you wait a little bit of a generation or a lifetime for the next one, and not enough praise, credit goes to to him personally as a human being. I say to you, when COVID came out, and there was the first signs of COVID in America, who was the first person to donate money? It's Dr. Patrice Motsepe. When we had floods in KZN and we needed support because we had issues with the relief fund and the disaster relief fund in South Africa, who was one of the first people to come through for the South African people, is Dr. Patrice Motsepe. Every single year, the Motsepe Foundation, Motsepe family puts out what we would call the Christmas with Our People, drives to locations unknown, to distribute toys and to make a Christmas a memorable feeling for many of the South Africans. Well, who is behind this drive is Dr. Patrice Motsepe. The South African football comes through not just even from that perspective. You look at the different portfolios. Is education, is sport, is arts and culture. Musicians come through and they say, oh, you know what, I had a problem because of the who comes through is Dr. Patrice Motsepe. Politics, religion with the churches. We traveled to the World Cup. We traveled with traditional healers. We traveled with church leaders. We traveled with kings of presidents, kings of religions, different communities within South Africa. Some of the places I met, some of the guys, and they were telling me, I'm the king of this kingdom. I've never heard of some of these places, but who is behind all of this is Dr. Patrice Motsepe. The South African football is in a space where, for sure, there's a lot of hard work that was done by, and a lot of credit needs to go to Dr. Khoza, Dr. Kaiser Motaung for the incredible work that they've done with South African football and to put it at the level that it is at. But the life beat and the pulse at the moment is without the Motsepe Foundation, for sure. If you look, PSL, with regards to the clubs, you talk whatever you want to talk about financial fair play. It's not. I go to Varidos and take mshishi. You don't pick mshishi. You pay for mshishi. Yeah, you don't go to Bloemfontein Celtics and pick Neo Mayema. You pay for Neo Mayema, and there's a recipient of the funds. And those funds then go into generating some form of income to financially assist the clubs to stay afloat. Where's that coming from? It comes from the generosity of Dr. Patrice Motsepe as the leader and the father of the Motsepe Foundation. And so when you look at that, you look at the PSL, you look at the National First Division. What's it called? It's called the Motsepe Foundation League now. Who's behind that? Who when all the other businesses were saying, no, don't touch football at the moment because financially we're not in that space. Who came out? Is Dr. Patrice Motsepe. Dr. Khoza said it even himself, not me. I didn't say it, and I'm not blowing his horn, but Dr. Ivan Khoza said it himself. He said it took one phone call. It took one phone call, and he said, "Yep, go ahead and let's do this thing." And he resuscitated the National First Division, and you go to SAFA, who's the major financial support. Who provides the major financial support is Dr. Patrice Motsepe. So you have K Motsepe. The competition for SASFA and the schools competitions. Who's behind it? The Motsepe Foundation. Who's behind that? Is Dr. Patrice Motsepe. Where in the world do you find a family? Where in the world? In the world, you go. I watch football. I read about football. I read a lot of autobiographies. Where in the world you find such a man?
I can only think of the Medici family.
Not even they come to that level. No, so it's true. It's that not even they come to that level. So I say to you guys, when you write these things, also write about people who make these contributions, because these human beings are are people that come once in our lifetime. They come once in our lifetime, and they need to be appreciated because they are human too. And we all forget sometimes that Dr. Patrice Motsepe is human too. And every human being wants to feel valued. It's a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Every human being wants to feel loved and appreciated. And so South Africans, we are privileged. We sit with a person that is the leader of CAF, is the president of CAF. He's South African. 100% wide range influence, incredible. So I don't have enough words, and I don't think I'm gifted in that. But my plea is to, of course, for sure, first is to say happy birthday on behalf of the team and the players. But for sure, my only plea is just show a little bit of respect and appreciation. He deserves it. It's not you doing it because you like him or you don't like him. He deserves it, and give him his flowers so that you inspire the next generation or the next leader of a family that's going to have some form of financial capacity to be able to help others and to give out, because this country is crying out for a little bit more kindness, a little bit more of human beings like Dr. Patrice, who are very selfless in their deeds. This country is crying out for that. We may look and we say, we all live our own lives, and today's society is very much like that. Today's society is very much me by myself, and I take care and I mind my own business. But that's not how culturally, as a people and as Africans, we were raised. I used to grow up, and when we didn't have sugar, my grand would say, "Go next door, you'll tell sugar." Batu butu. The thing, and that's how. But what has happened to today's society? So the people that still uphold the values of honesty, integrity, selflessness, other people first. So many of these loyalty, so many of these values that you don't find in today's society. The people that still uphold and who we are still fortunate to watch and see them uphold these values are people that still need to be put here, and we have to, because. And this is my parting shot. Biblically, Kens, no great man elected himself or was elected by others. There's one thing Jacob Zuma used to say. He used to say this thing, and he would quote kings. He would say, "When you're not happy with me, you pray for me as the leader, because there's an anointing." Leaders don't. It's not a democratic process. When there's leaders, it's not by. There's God's hand. You ordained. You're chosen, and we are fortunate enough to live amongst a man that's chosen by God to lead us and to show us that greatness as black people is possible, and we should appreciate that.
Coach Kisa is saying we have another celebrant in the team in the form of
Doza, yeah.
The most decorated kidman and one of the longest serving members of the team. Just where about him from your side?
No, I've been fortunate to work with a lot of people, backroom staff, support staff, but incredible human being. He stands amongst one of the most hardest working that I know. We celebrated his day, we sang for him. But also he will go down into the books of this football club for sure as a loyal and diligent servant, and we wish him many more returns.